Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. And with Japan having had Golden Week over the past week, we did get a few, less topics than usual, but we did get a few bombshells, so we're still going to get a pretty full Gundam News episode. First and foremost, we got more information about Gundam Build Metaverse. Now, they released a new teaser, which I will have linked down below, but other than this image, it doesn't really show anything new. But what they did do as well is introduce the story, the main characters, and the main mobile suits. And well, for the story, I'm gonna be completely honest. The first part of the setting that they're talking about, I really couldn't get into because, well, I know the real life equivalent that they're kind of promoting here and how they're trying to hype it up, let's say. A new internet service is born into the world of Gunpla, the Metaverse, where users can have their own avatar, interact with other users, have Gunpla battles, and I really need you to sit down for this one, even purchase Gunpla. Can you imagine a world where we get a new kind of internet service that allows us to buy Gunpla online? The future is now. In all seriousness, you've got hyping things up, and then there's whatever the hell this is. You're 3 decades behind at this point. But whatever, we'll just have to put that to the side and have a look at the more interesting things that do actually sound good. The main character is Hojo Ryo, your average boy who loves Gunpla and lives in Hawaii. And as you can tell from his art, he is very happy-go-lucky, with his main priority in Gunpla battles being having fun, so even when he loses, he just gets right back up and tries again. But I also feel like there's a missed opportunity here in my opinion. His grandfather is Japanese, and he's interested in Japanese culture, samurai, and ninja, so just think for a second, what kind of Gundam would be perfect for a main character who is interested in samurai and ninjas? Something like an Astray variant, a Musha Gundam Mark II, Spiegel Gundam, maybe even the N-Dagger N? No, the RX-78-2. It is a custom version called the Law Gundam, and its main weapon is a polearm that leans closer to the European glaive or the Chinese guandao than the Japanese naginata. But despite this, the official explanation is that Ryo made this Law Gundam with the heart of Japan in mind, and then named it Law after the Hawaiian word for sun. As a novice Gunpla builder, it wasn't easy for him to make this thing, but after a lot of trial and error, he was able to finish it. And then in the real world, we'll be able to buy this Gunpla in October for 1,100 yen 8 US, and just like its anime counterpart, it will be an entry grade. The next character we are introduced to then is Utsuki Seria. She works at a nearby hobby store and also gives classes on how to build Gunpla, but apparently she's sometimes a bit aloof, not always completely there, and just sometimes falls asleep in the classroom, only to then wake up an undefined amount of time later. Ryo asked her to be his Gunpla master, which she agreed to, and rumor has it that she used to be a famous builder. And then our final character is the very originally named Mask Lady. It kind of sounds like a work-in-progress name that they have to change later on, but then just decided, you know what? We'll stick with it. And Mask Lady is Rio's master in the Metaverse for the Gunpla battles. She is super strong, super strict, and even goes all out in practice matches. And personally, I think there's a very good chance that Seria is Mask Lady. Now, I would say that it is pretty common for the more, like, laid-back characters to have a very different alter ego, or like get super serious when they actually get into battle. And if she used to be a famous builder, it wouldn't surprise me that she's also a strong Gunpla battler. And then there's also their position in the promotional image. On the left, you have the real-life Rio and Seria, and then on the right, you have the virtual Rio and Mask Lady. So their position is kind of mirrored there, but only time will tell. On to the other Gunpla that was announced for the Metaverse, well, Gunpla Build Metaverse, and these basically also confirm that we are going to see the main characters from the previous build series in this anime. Because also in October, we're getting the entry grade Build Strike Exceed Galaxy for 1,210 yen, 9 US. So yeah, I think it's fairly obvious that we're going to get Iorisei as the pilot of this thing, because also one of the big selling points of this Metaverse anime is that we're going to get these like dream fights and like dream competitions that could only happen in the Metaverse. Moving on to November, we are first getting the high-grade Shin Burning Gundam, which definitely drew some inspiration from the Master Gundam with that beam cloak, and also comes with some other really cool beam effect parts. Both of which I'm guessing are also the reason for its relatively high price of 2,640 yen, 20 US. And again, I have no doubt that the pilot is going to be Kamiki Sekai. And the second release is the SD Gundam Cross Silhouette F Kunoichi Kai for 1,980 yen, 15 US. And you gotta appreciate the pun with the name. The base mobile suit is F91, and in Japanese, 9 can become Ku, 1 can become Ichi. They added no in between for Ku no Ichi, and of course, as many of you are probably aware, a Kunoichi is a female ninja, which is of course what this mobile suit is based on. And considering its placement on the promotional image, I'm gonna guess that this is Mask Lady's main mobile suit, or at least one of her machines. And then in December, for 2,750 yen, 20 US, there is the high-grade Gundam 00 Diver Arc, which just has to be Mikami Ryu's machine. And for 2,530 yen, 19 US, there is the high-grade Plutine or Plutine Gundam, which just has to be Kuga Hiroto's Gundam, considering the planet in its name, and also the fact that it has a core Gundam. And then finally, they also showed us this teaser image telling us that the Red Barb's custom Fumina, I think that's going to be, and the big bad guy Gundam will also be getting a Gunpla, with more information coming soon. I also really wonder who their pilots are going to be. I mean, the Red Barbs, it's like usually a red mobile suit is going to go to the masked character, but not always. And then we also have what I'm guessing is a new Super Fumina custom, which, does that mean Sakai Minato is going to make a comeback, or are we somehow going to get the real Fumina in there? But as with so many things, only time will tell. And then from the Shizuoka Hobby Show, we got another ton of announcements. Like, damn. There was the high-grade gym shoulder cannon / missile pod version, Cucuruz Doan's island version, which looks like it's actually going to be a regular release, because so far I don't see anything saying that it's a pre-Bandai. More details will be coming soon, but we do already know all of the important things. It'll be releasing in November for 2,530 yen, 19 US, and for that price, it'll come with a ton of accessories. Like the name of the kit indicates, it'll come with the missile pods and a shoulder-mounted cannon, but that is far from everything. We're getting a beam rifle, 2 types of beam spray gun, a hyper bazooka, 2 beam sabers, a shield, and a bunch of different hands. So this is without a doubt going to be one of the best armed and most well-supplied grunt kits out there, especially if you're only taking regular releases into account. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that this will become the ultimate army builder model kit. And from the same movie, they also showed the Sanho and Danan custom Zaku high mobility surface types. More information like their release dates, price, and accessories will be released at a later date, but we do already know that unfortunately these are going to be P Bandai. As to be expected because the other Southern Cross Zakus were P Bandai, so yeah. But then the best news was probably for the SD Gundam fans, with the announcement of the next Master Grade Super Deformed, the Barbs. More details will be coming our way in June, and currently this thing is slated for an autumn release, but they did already show us quite some nice previews at the Shizuoka Hobby Show, like the thing with its armor and the thing without its armor. And then they also showed us some new things from the SDW Heroes line. Nobunaga's Warhorse with flaming manes, the revival of the Heroes set consisting of the Wukong Impulse Gundam childhood version and Sanzang Strike Freedom Gundam. Then there was the Musha Gundam, the 78th, and the Superior Formula Final Dragon. And for the folks who want a more standard Master Grade, well, there was something. In the beginning of the year, the Master Grade Kämpfer Schwer was shown, and now it was announced it'll go up for pre-order on the 15th for 6,270 yen, 47 US. But that is all that we know so far, so whether or not it'll have a new inner frame in addition to the new outer frame remains to be seen. Personally, considering the price difference, I think that we're going to get a 1.5 treatment like the new DOMs at best. But again, only time will tell. Then, moving on to the next Master Grade, that was the Eclipse Gundam Unit 2, which even got its own special promotional video, which I'll have linked down below. And in short, Unit 2 is an edgier red and black version of the original with like a little bit of Aegis sprinkled in there. Like we've got that giant head sensor and the side skirts. And for more small variations, we go to the Gundam Base Limited kits. First up, the high-grade Moon Gundam long rifle version, which will be releasing on June the 10th. At 3,740 yen, 28 US, it'll be slightly more expensive than its retail counterpart, and will of course come with an extra long rifle. Next up then, releasing on the same day, is the triple high-grade gym set for 4,730 yen, 35 US. It comes with the Vanilla Gym, Gym 2, Gym 3, and a special set of waterslide decals, and it might just be because they painted like the promotional kits, but it feels to me like the Gym 2 and Gym 3 have slightly different colors. The original high-grade Gym 2 had a very white, whereas this one has a more greenish white, and the green of the Gym 3 now feels more double Zeta style, versus the original high grade, which was more unicorn style. And then the third thing is the high grade Torohachi. Something that I was really surprised by because, one, I was not expecting this. And 2, the other day, I actually started working on a video on petite mobile suits. So that's a real crazy coincidence. And what we know about this thing so far is that it'll be releasing in August for 2,200 yen, 16 US. And while they don't specifically say it, it's also not going to be 1/144th scale. As you can see in this image, there is a significant size discrepancy between it, the Torohachi is supposed to be 3 meters, and the new Gundam, one of the bigger Gundams around. So based on this image, the Torohachi comes up to like the knee of the real great new Gundam, I think even slightly bigger. So that means it has to be at least 1/60th scale, which would be cool to have next to the Perfect Red Unicorn Gundam, or maybe even 1/48th scale or bigger. And the next question then is it going to be a single Torohachi in the model kit, or is it going to be 2 or maybe even 3? Because, well, they are showing 3 things in the promotional images. And then in addition to all of that, they also showed off the real great Epion and the full mechanics forbidden for the first time, like the actual model kits. And they also announced that the Gundam Hajiroboshi second form will be getting a high grade with more information coming soon. And this still isn't where the Gunpla news ends, because in late September, Ichiban Kuji will be doing a Gunpla collaboration. One lottery ticket will cost you 790 yen, 6 US, and the prizes that they've confirmed so far are the A prize, which is the Master Grade Freedom Gundam version 2.0 solid clear version. The B prize is the Master Grade Ailstrike Gundam version remaster, solid clear version. The C prize is the High Grade Ariel, solid clear version. And the D prize is the High Grade Lafrith, again, solid clear version. And before you think like, whoa, for $6 a ticket, those are some really amazing prizes, do keep in mind that they have yet to announce the significantly less impressive E, F, and G prizes, which are usually the like, you didn't win prize, but we're giving you something, like stickers or clear files. Meanwhile, on the figure front then, we got 2 pre-orders for Witcher Mercury things, and a really cool announcement of the early summer Mega House Plus online event. While we don't know exactly what it's going to be, they did announce that they'll be showing off new Gundam Seed and other new Gundam figures, as well as new figures from the Gem and Lookup line. And talking about the Lookup line, that is one of the Witcher Mercury figure lines that went up for pre-order. For 4,620 yen a piece, 34 US, you'll be able to get either Suletta or Miorine from regular hobby stores, or you can get both in a set from P Bandai for 9,240 yen, 69 US, and then they'll also come with 2 mini cushions. And whichever version you go for, they are slated for a November release. And the second set then is the Witch from Mercury Chokorin collection. These tiny figures go for 825 yen a pop, 6 US, come with a tiny pedestal to make sure that they don't fall over, and the available designs are Suletta, Miorine, Chuchu, Nika, Guel, Elan, Shaddiq, and a smiling Suletta. And these figures will be coming your way in late December. On the gaming front then, all that I've got for you is that in Gundam Battle Operation 2, the Dolmel joins the fray. And in other news then, from May the 16th, the Sunrise World Tokyo will be getting a super deformed robot exhibition to show off their super deformed charm, and will of course include SD Gundam. And the mass production type Rico drama is returning with a new season. But it's important to note that apparently it's not going to be a second season in the traditional sense. Rather than a follow-up, they're keeping the same actors and names for the characters, but everyone is going to be like completely different personality-wise and setting-wise, with also a completely different story. So it's kind of like a reboot or an alternate universe kind of deal. The basic story this time around is that she's the president of a startup company called Dream Crazy, and she hopes that her company will become a unicorn company. Which then of course ties into the Unicorn Gundam, because one thing that we also know is that a high-grade unicorn will be appearing in the first episode. And by the by, I had to look up what a unicorn company is, and apparently it's a private tech company that is valued at $1 billion in the first 10 years of its founding. And as of now, there are only 5 such companies in Japan, being Preferred Networks, TBM, Smart News, Smart HR, and Spiber. So yeah, dream crazy indeed. Next up, on May the 26th, the second collection of Witch from Mercury card-ass cards will be releasing. One pack of 5 cards will set you back 275 yen to US, and there are a total of 50 to collect. 20 normals, 14 rares, 10 super rares, and 6 ultra rares. Moving on to the things you could get this week then. Yesterday there was the CD of Witch from Mercury's second opening, Slash by Yama, which was available in 3 versions. For 1,320 yen, 10 US, there was the regular version with just the CD. For 2,200 yen, 16 US, there was the limited edition, which also came with a Blu-ray with the intro without credits. And then for 4,400 yen, 33 US, you could get the complete limited edition, which comes with a different Blu-ray disc featuring studio live versions of the songs and an acrylic stand of Yama. And for the reading material then, you could get the June issue of Pash, featuring a very fancy cover of Guel, Elan, and Shadiq, as well as an A1 poster of that really fancy cover image. The June issue of Animate, which has a lot of interviews from Witch from Mercury, as well as another poster. Then there was the June issue of Animedia, which has a thoroughly unamused silhouette on the cover. And the June issue of New Type, which has a special on Witch from Mercury, with a really nice illustration of Sophie and Norea. On to the Gundam apparel news then, and just as everything else, I'm guessing with Golden Week, we did get less than usual, but there was still some cool stuff that was released, well, that went up for pre-order on Suletta Sunday for Witch from Mercury. For 4,180 yen, 31 US, there's a white screenshot t-shirt with screenshots from either Suletta or Miorine, but unfortunately they are not together in any of them. For 3,850 and 28 US, you can get a black t-shirt with the Ariel's shell unit, which looks really cool, but you probably shouldn't think about the implications behind it. And then for 7,480 yen a pop, 55 US, you can get a business bag in either holder or standard Astakasia colors. They're all from Bankore, and they are slated for a July release. And then finally for the polls, we got something special this week. Bamco is having a Witch from Mercury mobile suit popularity contest, so soon we'll know which Witch from Mercury machine the Japanese fandom likes the best. And I do say the Japanese fandom because unfortunately the poll is held on the Gundam Navi app, which, as far as I know, is only available in Japan, or, you know, other means. And the prizes up for grabs are pretty impressive too. The 2 top prizes are 1, the Earth House vs. Grassley House reproduction set, consisting of the Ariel Permit Score 6, Choo Choo's Demi Trainer, 4 Awards, the Michaelis, and 5 Beggar Pentes, and then 2, the Rumble Ring reproduction set, consisting of the Ariel Rebuild, 6 Gun Volvas, the Lefrith Thorn, Lefrith Ur, and Feroct. And a few weeks ago then, Gundam.info wanted to know what the most iconic weapon of the Guncannon is. And unsurprisingly, 2/3 of the votes went for the shoulder-mounted cannons. Because of course. What did surprise me though is that the spray missile launchers managed to come in second with 16.9%, and that the beam rifle only got 13.6%. Personally, I would say that the beam rifle is slightly more iconic, but with the spray missile launchers finally making their animated debut, I guess they got that newness boost. And then all the way in last place, we get the 60mm Vulcan guns. In real life, 30mm is enough to anything into oblivion, but in Gundam, it is hardly enough to make a dent, whether that's in combat or this poll, where it unfortunately only got 6.8%. And that has been all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.